Well then, hello there, and welcome back to another video. And we're gonna do a video out in now in full color. Captain Underpants at the Attack of the Talking Toys. More action, more laughs, more Futurama. So so what so I'm gonna do a read out. So yeah, I'm gonna read out this whole book. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that, but anyways, for the video, let's just get started. Hello. Before you read this book, there's some things you should know. So Harold and I created this informative pamphlet to fill you in on the details. Please don't let this comic fall into the wrong hands. The Top Secret Truth About Captain Underpants by George Beard and Harold Hutchins, who deny everything. Once upon a time, there were two cool kids named George and Harold. We are cool, me too. They made their own comics about a superhero named Captain Underpants. Everybody thought their comics were funny, ha 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 ha, except for the mean old principal, Mr. Crop, blah blah blah. One time, Mr. Crop was being mean to George and Harold, so they bought the 3D him phone mean. They hypnotized Mr. Crop. I'll obey. They turned him into Captain Underpants, but Mr. Crop thought he was Captain. He was Captain Underpants. He jumped out the window to fight crime. Chalala. George and Harold tried to stop him, but they had to save the world first. Bad guy. Kaboom. When they got back to school, George poured water on Captain Underpants' head. He turned back into Mr. Crop, but something was wrong. Because now, for some strange reason, every time Mr. Crop hears somebody snap their fingers, he turns back into Captain Underpants. So whatever you do, please don't snap your fingers around Mr. Cup. Please don't snap those fingers. This has been public service announcement from George and Al, who still deny everything. Chapter 1. George and Harold. This is George Beard and Harold Hutchins. George is the kid on the left with the tie and the flap top. Harold is the one on the right with the t-shirt and the bad haircut. Remember that now. Depending on who you ask, you'll be probably hear a lot of things about George and Harold. The teacher, Miss Hubble, might say that George and Harold were disrupted and bravely challenged. The gym teacher, Mr. Meaner, might add that they were in serious need of a major attitude adjustment. The principal, Mr. Crab, would probably have a few more choice words to include like sneaky and criminally mischievous, and I'll get those points if it's the last thing you get the idea. But if you ask their parents, they'll probably tell you that George and Harold were smart and sweet, and they're good and very good-hearted, even they were a bit silly at times. I have to agree with their parents. But even so, the seniors did get them into a lot of trouble. Sometimes, in fact, it once got them into so much trouble they accidentally almost destroyed the whole planet with the with an army of various talking toilets. Before I can tell you that story, I have to tell you this story. Chapter 2, this story. One fine morning at Jerome Howard's elementary school, George and Harold had just gotten out of their fourth grade remedial gym class when they saw a big sign in the hallway. It was an announcement for the second annual invention convention. George and Harold had fond memories of last year's invention convention, but this year's convention was a bit different. The first prize winner got to be the principal for the day. Wow, said George. Whoever gets to be the principal gets to make up all the rules for the whole day, and everybody in school has to follow those rules. We have got to win the first prize this year, exclaimed Harold. Just then, George and Harold's principal, Mr. Cup, showed up. Aha! He shouted. I'll bet you two are up to no good. Not really, said George. We were just reading about this year's contest. Yeah, said Harold. We are going to win first prize in the contest and be principal for the day. Ha 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 ha, laughed Mr. Crab. Do you honestly think I'll let you two enter this year's contest after that stunt you pulled at last year's invention convention? George and Harold smiled and thought back to the first annual invention convention. Chapter 3, The Flashback. It was about 1 year earlier, and all of the faculty and students of Jerome Howard's elementary school had gathered in the gymnasium for what would later be known as the sticky chair incident. George and Harold stepped up to the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, said George, Harold and I invented something that is guaranteed to keep you all glued to your seats. Yes, said Harold, we call it glue. Mr. Crab became very angry. You two did not invent glue, he shouted. He stood up to take the microphone away from Harold, and his chair stood up with him. Everyone in the gymnasium laughed. The school secretary, Miss Anthorpe, stood up to remove Mr. Crab's chair from his pants too. Her chair stood up with her too. Everyone in the gymnasium laughed harder. The other teachers stood up, and you guessed it, they were stuck to the chairs as well. Everyone in the audience howled with laughter. One kid stood up to go to the bathroom, and his chair came up with him. Also, the audience stopped laughing so hard they all quickly checked their chairs, and suddenly the laughter stopped completely. Everyone in the whole school was glued to their seats. You see, while it was true that George and Harold had not invented glue, they had invented a new kind of glue. By simply mixing rubber cement with concentrated orange juice mix, they had created a quick drying, body heat activated glue. Then they applied this special glue to every seat in the gymnasium except theirs. Early that morning, early that morning. Everybody in the gymnasium was glaring at George and Howard and seething with anger. "I've got an idea," said Howard. "What?" asked Howard. "Run!" cried George. George and Howard were grinning from ear to ear, remembering their silly invention and the chaos that followed. "That was hilarious," laughed Harold. "Yeah," chuckled George. "It'll be hard to top that this year." "Well, you won't get a chance this year," said Mr. Crab. He took out a magnifying glass and held it up to the fine print on the sign. "This contest is open to all students in the 3rd and 4th grade, except George Beard and Harold Hutchins." "You mean we can't enter the contest?" asked Harold. "It's worse than that," laughed Mr. Cub. "You boys can't even attend this year's convention. I'm putting you two in study hall." That whole day, Mr. Crab turned and walked away, laughing viciously. "Rats," said Harold. "What are we going to do?" "Well," said George, "you know the old saying, if you can't join them, beat them." Early that morning, George and Harold sneaked back to school with the supplies. They crept into the gymnasium and peeked around. "I think someone's still in here," whispered Harold. "Oh, it's just Melvin's neatly," said George. Melvin was school maniac. He was busy putting some last-minute touches on his new invention for the contest. We should wait here until he leaves," whispered Harold. "No way," said George. "He could be here all night. Let's just go over and talk to him." When Melvin saw George and Harold approaching, he was not happy. "Oh no, I bet you guys are here to mess with everyone's inventions." "Nice guest," said Jules. "Listen, we promise not to mess with your invention. If you promise not to tell anybody that you saw us here tonight." Melbourne looked lovingly at his invention and regularly agreed. "I promise," he said. "Great," said George. "Say, what is that invention of yours anyway?" "It's just like a photocopy machine." "Well, it used to be a photocopy machine," said Melvin, "but I have made some major adjustments to it. Now is it an invention that will revolutionize the world. I call it the world. I call it the Pasty 2000. I'll revolutionize the world, and you name it Pasty?" asked Harold. "Yes," said Melvin. Pasty is an acronym for photoatomic translation. For photoatomic transsomacal building, photographic. I'm sorry, I asked. "Allow me to demonstrate," said Melvin. Pasty 2000 can take any two-dimensional image and create a living, breathing, three-dimensional copy of that image. For example, take this ordinary photograph of a mouse. Melvin placed the photo of the mouse onto the screen of the Pasty 2000 and pressed start. The lights in the gymnasium dimmed as all the power in the entire school seemed to get sucked into the pasty 2000. Soon the machine began to vibrate and hum loudly, and tiny bolts of static electricity snapped out from underneath. "I hope that thing doesn't explode," said Harold. "Oh, this is nothing," said Melvin. "You probably have seen how the Pasty 2000 react when I copied a poodle." Finally, a series of flashes and loud slaps, everything stopped. A small din was heard. Then a tiny mouse crawled out the side door of the Pacey 2000 and onto the floor. "Isn't it wonderful?" exclaimed Melvin. "Well, that's it for this book for today. Hang on. Let me do some ASMR. Hang on. So I'm gonna end the video. So hope you guys have a grateful, wonderful day. Bye guys, bye.